Mm. And welcome one and all to Dorrien Gardens for the first of many finals that will be played here over the next few days. Tonight we have the NPL Women's Top 4 Cup second semi-final between the hosts Perth SC, the visitors Fremantle City, and we are in for an absolute barnstormer to kick off the weekend. Well, we're not quite at the weekend yet. Thursday night football makes it feel a bit like the weekend. But two sides that are well acquainted. They've already played twice this year. Perth SC with the edge, winning both of those games home and away. Round 1 and round 8. Kicked off the season, Perth with a 2-1 win over the visitors here. Nicola Bolger and Jamie Duncanson scoring the goals there for Perth. Waltman notching one for Fremantle. While the reverse fixture in round 8, it was a late Liana Cook penalty that secured victory for the Azzurri. And now we wait to see who will win what is turning out to be, or what has turned out to be, probably the most important match between these two sides of the season. Perth will be confident, but having only won by a single goal in both of those games, there's plenty of encouragement for Fremantle City to think they can do the job here and turn over the hosts. A storied football club, Perth SC, always competitive. The men's league this year, their first team struggled throughout the first phase, didn't make the top 6, but then romped their way to a victory in the bottom 6 mini league and a first semi-final win last night. Means they will be playing on the weekend in the final against Floreat. And the women's here would love to replicate that feat and get their own silverware. Lots of silverware on offer at the end of the season, even though it hasn't all gone to plan. Even though it has been one of the most tumultuous seasons, one of the most tumultuous years that any of us will ever experience. But the football goes on. Wonderful to have fans in the ground. And we are just about ready to go. David Avison with the whistle. His assistants today, Salota Piri, Jared Maunda. We've got Rowan Ellis operating the camera. I'm Sean Fry. I will be calling the action for you today. The Azzurri about to kick us off. They'll be attacking the left of screen in their traditional sky blue. Fremantle City, the visitors, in that intimidating all-black kit. Perth and get us kicked off. And here we go, Abby Meekins with her first touch to Emily Henderson, who looks to find it the feet of Cook. Didn't get the touch she wanted, but it's gone to a teammate anyway. Thank you, Rowan, for operating that stopwatch that I couldn't even figure out how to do. Not a technical man, I just do the talking. Here go Fremantle for their first attack of the day. Jamie Lee Gale spreading it wide here for Ashley Santich. Squaring it and scoring! What a start for the visitors! I didn't catch who got the final touch, but Jamie Lee Gale squared it, and they have scored early in the first minute. Well, we barely had a chance to catch her breath inside the first 30 seconds. What a start for Fremantle, and as I mentioned, they will be confident coming into this one. And if they needed any more confidence, they've got it in the first 30 seconds with the opening goal. Wonderful bit of play down the right, their first attack. May have been perhaps Annabelle Leake that got the final touch on that one. And wow, what a start. And Fremantle will be buoyed by that. Jamie Lee Gale with the early header. A chance for the ever-present Gemma Crane to put herself about. And forces a throw-in, which will be taken by Natasha Rigby. She looks for Leake, who misses the flick on. And DeLeo back to Bennett. Meekins, good little flick on there for Cook. Back to Meekins, who's got Duncanson wide and just couldn't find her. A poor pass in the end. Rigby with another throw. Looking down the line for who I believe was the goal scorer, Annabelle Leake. She just fell to the ground, put some studs on her, and then was set upon by black shirts. The pylon almost on the edge of the 6-yard box. Made it a little hard to see the number on the back of the shirt, but the important thing for Fremantle is that they have scored. It doesn't matter who. They are 1-0 up against Perth at home. Wow, what a start. Early goals, so important, especially in knockout games like this. Onions finds Henderson, and they're going to have to try and work their way out of a tight spot here. Henderson gives it away, but, well, she was fortunate, really, that it ricocheted off the leg of Jamie Lee Gale. Out for a Perth throw. Cook back for Henderson, and that's not her best work. Scoring that one into touch for Rigby to take another throw. She looks to get it back there and just slams one into midfield. Meekers makes a good turn. No foul, according to the referee. Rigby looks to thread one in behind for Leake to run onto. Perth do sort this out. They've got a chance here to spring a counter. Wonderful bit of interplay. Leads to Duncanson, the skipper, with a bit of space. Confronted there by Nadilo, and her pass was a little loose. She'll get a chance to put a foot in here. But just touching it around her there was Coral Buxey. But that long ball forward, not really in the direction of anyone in particular. And Bennett Fields for Perth. DeLeo fires, looking for the feeder. Cook doesn't get there, but the touch from the Fremantle defender. Rigby left a little to be desired, and Perth come back again. Here's Henderson. Good ball into the top of the box. Little deflection, and rolls that one through to the arms of Dale Schroeder, wearing the gloves for Fremantle City today. And her first intervention is a nice, easy one. Fremantle looking determined to play it out from the back, and they've turned it over on the far side. This ball whipped into the box. Duncanson making a nuisance of herself. And Rigby does well enough. Henderson's tackle was good, but only concedes a throw. Jamie Lee Gale forcing that. That's an interesting decision from referee David Avison. It'll be a controversial one if Perth managed to score from this passage of play. Henderson up to take the throw. Seen a few Perth games this year, and Henderson and Duncanson love to link up on this left-hand side. It's usually their preferred side to attack down, and just a lapse in concentration there from Zoe Spadano. Ball rolls under her pink boots and out for a Fremantle throw. Fremantle look to get started, but turn it over, and here's Spadano again. Nice little pass to Cook, and she gets it back. Rigby comes now for company and lays it off for Duncanson. Perth attacking down this left side again, and a late clearance by Stephanie Nadilo. Henderson to Spadano. Henderson just looking to dribble the Gale. Not sure what it is about hyphenated names in football, but you almost feel obliged to say the full name every time. Think of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jamie Lee Gale, just to name a couple. That one there from Jamie Lee Gale goes out for a Perth corner. Duncanson over to take it. Duncanson to whip it in. They've got numbers in the box. It's deep. Big header and easy claim there for Dale Schroeder, which she did with confidence. She rolls it out to Nadilo to get us restarted. He comes back to Schroeder. Fremantle looking intent to play it out from the back. Firing there into the feet of their forward and turning it over on the far side. Heavy touch out of play for a Perth SC throw. They look long down the line. Spadano for Nadia Harvey. She flicks one over. Stretch there from Cook. It comes to Abby Meekins! We are back level at 1. Stunning strike from Abby Meekins. She's capable of goals from distance. Scored a stunner earlier this season against Balcatta. And that one is right up there. Left Dale Schroeder flat-footed and found the bottom left-hand corner. And what started off as a tasty game has become even tastier in the first 10 minutes. A goal apiece. Henderson flicking it inside for the goal scorer Meekins. Gives it to Duncanson. She's confronted by Buxey. Good touch by Buxey to the feet of Waltman. Waltman looking to find Georgie Island, but her pass was a little vociferous and Perth could resume play in the ascendancy with the momentum that Meekins goal's given them. Well, if we were excited for this one already, 2 goals, one inside the first 30 seconds, the second less than 10 minutes in. It's given us a real game to watch here. Waltman looking to play it out from the back. Really well done at the back there by Fremantle. Well, I spoke a little too soon. It was well done, and here's a chance for Harvey to whip a ball in. Schroeder will get us restarted. You can see that Fremantle determined to play it out from the back, and here's why. Gemma Crane on the ball now with a bit of space to turn and run away from Zoe Spadano. She's got a bit of toe. Spadano isn't giving it up, and she does really well there just to muscle her off it, just pressure her into a loose play and a turnover. And Perth recover and start again. But when you get Gemma Crane in the middle of the park with a bit of space and the ability to turn, that's going to be really dangerous. Delightful outside of the foot pass there from Spadano. And Henderson again rolling it for Duncanson. Didn't seem that interested in that one, and Rigby took advantage. And Fremantle clear. Leak going back and mopping up her own mess. Back for Rigby. Twisting and turning. She'll look to come back inside, waiting for the support of a teammate. They eventually get it down the line for Gale. Her chest control was a little bit loose, but they win it back. And win a throw. Jenna Onions charging up the pitch there to make an impact on this one. The Albany native. Here's Meekins. Unable to control that one. I'm not sure if Rigby waited for the whole ball to roll over the line before she picked that one up. And regardless, maybe the football gods saw that and made a foul throw. But look for Perth to spend, and another foul throw there short. Well, if the first one is David Avison, then the second one is as well. Onions wins that header. Henderson picks up the scraps. Had no one in there. Normally where you'd expect Liana Cook. I'm not sure where she was on that occasion. Meekins ducking in to try and get a toe on that. Good little bit of footwork from Buxey. Oh, thunderous tackle there from Melissa Shepherd. Just making her presence felt there on young Georgie Island. Island again just looking to move the ball forward. Snapping into the tackle there a little late was Buxey. Couldn't quite get a foot on it. And Perth really keen. Look at the numbers they're getting forward here. They are really intent on pinning Fremantle inside their defensive third. Just need a player to be able to take it down and perform a big switcher play. There's a lot of space out on the near side. Be nice if they could do that for my deteriorating eyesight as I head into my mid-30s. A lot easier to call the game when they're 10 feet away from you. And that is an interesting ball, to put it mildly. It was that big switcher play that I was talking about, but no one there to field the ball. And that ball, that throw in from Henderson was an interesting one as well. It sort of split the difference between Duncanson and Cook. And Fremantle look to go forward. Ireland has her pass cut out. Shepherd finds Betty, who looks to roll it around the corner there for Harvey. Takes a touch off a Fremantle player. Now for a throw. I feel like we need to take a breath here. This one has been absolutely helter-skelter for the first 15 minutes of this game. Cook can't bring that one down. It'll go out for a throw, which Isabel Bridger will take. It's very congested over there, which suits Perth, while Fremantle have the ball, and look for them to make that quick switch out to this left-hand side if they do take possession. And there it is, Liana Cook with her touch. Back for Spadano, but her pass, again out for a Fremantle throw. Bridger looks to get down the line. She does so, but when she comes inside, runs into too many blue shirts. Liana Cook there looking to get the better of Waltman and unable to, and then she is scythed down. It might be our first talking to of the game. Nothing more than that. Certainly was a hefty tackle by the Perth midfielder. Rigby plays it for Gale and looks to get it back. That to her centre half. Big call here from Jamie Lee Gale in a bit of space, but Henderson cuts that one out. Her touch was not strong enough to see the ball out, which I think Duncanson expected. And Cook again just caught on her laurels there. There's been a couple of occasions where I think she's been caught wanting in her positioning when Perth have gone forward in these opening stages. She is such a devastating footballer when she's on form. Rigby with a bit of space. Closed down now by Henderson. Duncanson operating as an auxiliary left back. Gale looks to cut inside and just roll one there into the path of Annabelle Leake. DeLeo shares it with Onions and they look to come down this left side again. Duncanson. Back to Onions. Lovely ball down the line. That's delightful. Henderson takes a little touch away from Nadilo, who stuck to her task well. Oh, but then he's robbed by Henderson. Wonderful play and squares it into the path of Betty, but she couldn't get the required contact. Rolls through for Dale Schroeder to soak up a bit of time. She may wait until she's pressed. In the end, gets a bit bored of that. She'll get it back here. Perth just happy to catch their breath here for a moment. It looks like Duncanson is operating not just as an auxiliary left back, as a left back, and you often see her switching, getting forward and attacking, swapping positions with Henderson. Expect to see that a little bit tonight. At the moment, she is tasked with keeping Jamie Lee Gale under wraps, which isn't the most easy task in the NPLW Western Australia, and that one takes a horrible skip for the Fremantle defence, and that was more misfortune than cynicism, I think, there from Laura Waltman, but the yellow card will come out regardless, more of a contextual booking than, as I mentioned, any sort of cynicism or deliberate attempt to bring down her opponent. She's got an awful hop there, and Perth forward was in behind, and she just clipped the ankles there of Liana Cook. Well, it leaves Perth with a free kick in a dangerous position, a good chance to load some numbers forward and get a ball into the box. Everyone forward but two for the Azzurri. Henderson just dropping now as well. That one looks to be flicked on near post. Chances it, scrambles back out of the top of the box. And Fremantle come away with it well. Lovely bit of hold-up play there, and a spread it for Lions. If she can get there, she does well to keep it alive, and then does even better to get there ahead of Henderson. Wonderful football from Michaela Lyons. Little Ronaldo chop, and Henderson eventually with a tackle. Now Gemma Crane wins, well, concedes a throw. Well, this is certainly a game that is living up to the billing in the opening quarter of the match. We've got 2 goals to show for it, but we've also just had a bunch of end-to-end football and some wonderful touches. That Michaela Lyons bit of play there isn't worth any goals, but a bit of Gareth Bale about it, just running off the pitch, taking that touch down the line and then getting there first. Showing a great bit of toe. A shame for Fremantle it didn't lead to a chance. DeLeo striding forward. Liana Cook had an arm in the air, but she opted to go for the short ball to Betty. Spadano will go all the way back to Rebecca Bennett, who doesn't waste any time in getting Jenna Onions on the ball, but she took too long. Gemma Crane, just looking to feed Lions there. Perth foot in the way, but it came back to Crane. She wants it back, but worried by the presence of Duncanson. Opted to go back instead. Crane's going to give Meekins a thing or two to think about here. And Meekins does well, stands up, gets a touch on the ball, and it is out for a Fremantle corner. Chance for the visitors to see what they can do from a set play, looking to take the lead. Opening goal from Annabelle Leake cancelled out by a Meekins strike from range. Gale will take the corner. Crane looking to the short option. She fizzes it low and hard, and just diving in front there. And taking one for the team is Jenna Onions. Rigby. Ireland. It's a delightful ball from Ireland. Got to be careful there. Diving in, a wonderful tackle. Not afraid to put a foot in. On that occasion there, Nadia Harvey, the Perth right back. Knew the contact was coming, but knew she also had to clear the ball out of danger for her team. And she did a job. Foul throw there. It seems to be one they're almost picking at random. And Harvey, the beneficiary, to her opposite, number 7, Waltman. Just a cluster of players. It's hard to make head or tail of that. And that one comes off Harvey. Out for a Fremantle throw. Leak leaves it for her left back. And jogs down the line. She will take it now. She would have taken it if it wasn't for defensive intervention from Perth. Nice crowd we've got here at Dorrien Gardens tonight. The stands aren't quite packed. I'm not sure where the government regulations stand on how many we're allowed to get in here, but it's as full as we've seen it for a while. Bennett thumps it long to Cook, who wins the head up. Knocked on by Shepherd. And Cook drops it back. Chance for Meekins. Looking to feed Cook, who was just a shade offside. Jared Maunders' flag halts that Perth attack. Waltman squares it there for Nadilo, who didn't want it. Just gave it straight back. Bit of dancing on that far side. Wins a throw for Fremantle. Crane demands it short. She'll take it down and be confronted by Meekins and just lays it off. And here comes the big Fremantle switch. If they can get it out this side, they really need to just find a way out of that congestion. That's one way, just thump it forward, but they lose possession. Spadano drops it back. Nice intelligent football there from Harvey and Perth, and they come out the other side through Onions, who strides forward. She looks in for Duncanson, but Rigby steps in there to take the ball away. Fremantle do come away with possession, but only momentarily before it's back to their defenders. Henderson sees an opportunity there to press. Just sits off and cuts off the pass to Rigby. Meekins just ran into the back of the referee there as she went to put pressure on. Perhaps a bit of assistance there for Fremantle, who come forward now through Nadilo, but her pass for Gale was just a little bit askew. Is Bennett. Onions, Bennett. Long down the line. Betty nudged under it by her opponent. It was Isabel Bridger. And Waltman can mop up for Fremantle. In for Crane. Her pass around the corner, couldn't find a target. And Perth can start again. So keen to just play it out from the back, but here's a chance. Lee Gale has stolen it! And she scores! Jamie Lee Gale gives Fremantle back the lead! Well, Perth come unstuck. Their insistence to keep the ball, play it around the back, switch it from side to side. And Onions just got caught there. And Jamie Lee Gale nipped in And one-on-one, just stroked it into the back of the net. Fremantle take the lead again. Perth SC 1, Fremantle 2. This game just keeps getting better and better. Gemma Crane leaves it, and they come out now through Gale, who just getting all the breaks at the moment. Nat feeds a tasty pass in behind. But just cut out there by DeLeo. Harvey looks down the line for Cook. Cut out by her opposite number 7, Waltman. And she does delightfully to just dance through a couple and fizz it into Crane at about waist height. Difficult one to bring in for her. She wasn't able to. And Perth will try this whole passing it out from the business again. That one mistake certainly isn't going to alter their style in any way, but that is just a really pass to no one there. Perhaps just a little rattled here, the hosts. Fremantle have certainly come out like a team with a point to prove. Always one of those interesting talking points in Australian football anyway, with having a league season and then a final series. The football traditionalists will tell you that the league title is what it's all about, the most important thing. That has already gone to Murdoch University Melville for their fantastic season. But the Aussie in you, with the history in the AFL and the NRL and Australian sports, is that final day, that big grand final. Meekins takes a touch and fires again, looking for her second. So the consensus around Perth seems to be that they're both trophies, it's both silverware, both equally important. Mind you, whoever wins here today will more than likely, depending on the other result, have to take on Murdoch University Melville if they get over the line today. They're currently playing their first semi-final as we speak. You can flick over on Football West TV, on Facebook or YouTube, and see Tommy Dolman's call of that one to see who will be playing the winners here in the NPL Women's Top 4 Cup final. Nice header there from Rigby around the corner. Crane comes to take it. She juggles it a couple of times, then turns inside Duncanson and plays it for Gale. Back to Crane. Starting to get involved here now, Gemma Crane. That's bad news for Perth. Dribbles inside and, delightful little reverse ball for Gale, who just was not operating off of the same hymn sheet. And Rigby comes back for Nadilo, and Duncanson leaves the foot in there. Sends her sprawling. No love lost there between the pair. And the Fremantle coaching staff just saying, let's calm it down, guys. And I don't know, when you've got Gemma Crane just starting to get involved in the game, Jamie Lee Gale with a goal, those two starting to link up, you feel like you almost just want to embrace the chaos. Shepherd, delightful turn. But then a ball over to no one, and that's been the case a little too often in this first half of Perth. A lot of those long balls down the channels and with no one there. Henderson and Duncanson switching again. I wonder if that's almost a controlled sort of energy expenditure exercise there, where the left back gets to take a bit of a breather, and then whoever's operating at left wing puts themselves about a bit more. That one squared in, turn around the corner. Waltman will get that back there before any blue shirts, but cannot prevent the corner. Half an hour, just over half an hour gone in this one. In the first half, Fremantle leading by a goal.
The left foot of Emily Henderson over to take this right-sided corner. I think she'll be looking to put an in-swinger right on the head of Dale Schroeder and see what sort of chaos they can conjure up. Duncanson's in there, Shepherd as well. Meekins, DeLeo and Cook. That ball is hung up right on the head there of the keeper to DeLeo, and the referee has pulled out a foul.
One of my pet peeves in football, those free kicks against the attacking side at a corner. Quite often feels to me like a bit of a cop-out. I didn't see the incident, so I won't comment on this one in particular.
Fremantle continue to attempt to play it out from the back. That one leaves Liana Cook a little interested.
Nadilo gets away with it. It comes forward now. Duncanson dropping off her. He just gave her the time to pick a pass, and it was poor, but Harvey's touch was equally poor, as was Shepherd's pass. A bit of scrappy football here, as both sides seem intent on ceding possession. And a free kick going Fremantle's way. There's a little bit of that calm head that the coach was asking for earlier. Not looking to get this one on quickly. Just waiting for a few numbers to get forward. Perth to drop back. And then Nadilo will roll it short to Waltman. His left foot ball into the box was not too far away from Lions. Bennett claimed comfortably. Thumping boot on Rebecca Bennett. Cook puts herself in, and there's a clash of heads. That's a nasty one. And Cook is down, hasn't moved. Is wriggling around now. That was just a full-on clash, and Cook's taken out a couple there, and Nadilo and Rigby both on the grounds. But certainly Cook looking like the player that's come off the worst in that collision. Certainly all three girls with eyes on the ball. Nothing untoward there in terms of raised elbows or dangerous play. It was just three players attacking a 50-50 that was up for grabs, and or I guess technically we'd call it a 33-33-33. Actually, my dad had pilloried me for that. A 33 and a third, 33 and a third, 33 and a third. Apologies to Chris Fry for my poor mathematics. Everyone seems to be back up at least into a sitting position and responsive. So hopefully it's more of a having the wind knocked out of you, the stuffing smacked out of you from the heavy collision, rather than any sort of concussion or other similar injury. Cook's back on her feet. Perth look back to their full complement. We just await the Fremantle players now. Was a challenge really reflective of the intensity and commitment that both sides have shown in the opening half an hour. And
Not sure which Fremantle player is still down. It's like Nadilo is the last one up, and Rigby is back on her feet. And perhaps there was a little split on the head of the Fremantle fullback, as she's now sporting a rather thick bandage around the dome. I'll tell you what, though, I think it suits her. She gets a warm reception there from the Fremantle faithful, and all the girls get a spattering of applause from the crowd here, appreciative of their efforts. Fremantle will kick us off. Nadilo for Waltman. Back to Nadilo, and we're back and away. Here we go. Dale Schroeder. Looks long up the middle. Attempted to be flicked on there by Lions. Came back to Buxey. And Fremantle will attack down the left-hand side. Nice little turn of pace there down the left wing, but DeLeo steps in and clears. Fremantle throw. 6.5 minutes left, plus stoppage time in this first half. The visitors probably just shading the first half. They are just shading the score. 2-1. Here's Crane holding off Spadano and delivering it back to her centre half and getting it back and getting it back again. She's just like a ball magnet at times. Gemma Crane just finds those spaces. That's another poor ball from Onions, diving in, getting a touch around the keeper, and somehow the free kick has gone against her even though she won the ball. That's an interesting one. That's a very, very interesting one. I'm not sure how you can slide in, win the ball, and then be penalised. She didn't go in studs up. If anything, I thought Bennett came out just as dangerously. I can't see how Lyons is penalised in that situation. For me, that's the wrong decision. You either let it go, or if you're going to give a free kick, surely it goes to the person that wins the ball. Nothing insidious from either player, nothing aggressive. They were both just diving in to win the ball. But certainly from where I was sitting, we don't get a replay of these things, and so I may be wrong, but it looked to me like Lions won the ball clean. That one over the head of Cook. Onions clearance deflects off Gale and out for a Perth throw. So Perth looking to push. They'd love an equaliser before half-time. The old adage that the late goals change the half-time team talks couldn't be truer of a cup semi-final when you're down by a goal. Right now, as things stand, Fremantle will be going in buoyed by that 1-goal lead. Certainly buoyed by the commitment of some of their players. Nonetheless, to the girl with the ball in her hands there, Natasha Rigby, took a heavy blow in that clash with Liana Cook. Crane doing what she does best and firing it into the back of the net and doubling Fremantle's lead. Well, Bennett perhaps would have wanted to have got a stronger palm on that and tipped that one over the bar, but just the pace and power of Gemma Crane. Was just mentioning how she was finding her way into this game and starting to be a little bit more involved, and that it really is not a good sign for Perth if she starts having things her way. They now lead by 2. Perth SC 1, Fremantle 3. Rigby's throw in. Won by Henderson to Cook. Certainly far from over this one as Duncanson looks to cut the deficit back to 1. She's not going to do it with that effort. Slices her left foot cross out behind for a Fremantle goal kick. Magnificent first half here from the visitors, Fremantle City. Quite possibly the best half of football they have played this year. They warmed up for it in good fashion last week, a 1-1 draw with the champions Murdoch University Melville. Only one of 4 games in which they dropped points all season. As that one from Schroeder is a little wide. And Perth get a throw in their attacking third. Looking for Cook over her head. Betty tries to get a ball into the box. Blocked behind. Perth corner. Henderson again over to take. Last one was into a very dangerous area, right on top of that 6-yard box. Schroeder, not the tallest goalkeeper in the world, so Perth will look to take advantage of that. Another lofted ball under the top, over Cook's head, comes back out and a whiff by Betty. Spadano, was absolutely bought the candy that was sold to her by Gemma Crane, and Fremantle have a chance here. That ball just bubbles and won't sit for Crane, and sticking to her task well there was Grace Betty to come back and make the tackle there on Gemma Crane. She was just looking to pull the trigger for that crossfield ball, and the ball just kept bubbling every time she looked to hit it. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come with this pitch, with all the games they've got to play on it over the next few days. Rigby. Nice turn. Back to Ireland, who eventually gets it back to Rigby. As Testaleo picks that one up, and Spadano just under pressure there from Crane and Lyons. Won it back to her keeper, and lovely little touch and go there. Cook looking to get in behind if the pass can find her. It's just a little heavy. And really good positioning there from Nadilo, and good strength as well. She's had a great first half, as has most of this Fremantle side in truth. Here's Shepherd. She's got Henderson screaming for it. She won't get there ahead of Rigby, and she will not be able to keep it in. Everything going City's way at the moment. Rigby down the line looking for Leak. They turn it over. Good play there from Spadano. Good intensity. Winning her team a corner. Seconds left in this one before half-time, plus stoppages. We will get a few minutes courtesy of that 3-way head clash earlier on. Duncanson with the ball, lofted up into a dangerous area again, and again dealt with by this Fremantle defence. Crane looks to flick it around the corner, maybe a little overly confident on that occasion. Duncanson sells Crane some candy this time, leaves it for Henderson. Henderson's ball is blocked by Nadilo, and another Perth corner. This is better by the Azzurri. Just turning the screw, ratcheting up the pressure. And Henderson's going to look to come and take this short. Fremantle perhaps just napping here. They are. Henderson's got loads of space to lift one in. It's over Schroeder's head. She just gets a touch on it. Back post. Fired wide. I think that was Grace Betty arriving. Just unable to keep that one down. Well, things could not be going more to the script if you're a Fremantle City fan. They have done everything right in this first half. They got off to an absolute flyer. Goal inside the first 30 seconds. That one was poor from Schroeder. Cut out by Betty. Cook looks to roll it back into her path, but gives it away, and Waltman strides forward from centre half. Rolls it out to the left wing, and Fremantle look to get another chance. Leak can't get that one under control. And Spadano, she's been all over the pitch so far in this first half. Finds a feed of Betty. Betty looking to just turn around her opponent. In the end, comes inside, and Perth just hammer it forward, right to the feet of Nadilo. For Waltman, back to Nadilo. Rigby on the near side. And they will use her now. That's a delightful ball from Nadilo there, just not just passing it to her teammate, but curling it in front of her so she can run onto it. Crane has Meekins for company. Will just be happy to hold her off, and just so nonchalant and lovely to watch in possession. Fremantle's number 31. She'll look to get involved again. It's a tasty turn around the corner there for Gale, but just over hit. And out for a Perth throw. We are into the 3rd minute now of additional time. Not sure how much will be played here as Waltman looks to play it back. Duncanson's interested. Schroeder streaming out. Does really well. Anywhere will do in that occasion. Onto the head of Shepherd. And again, Rigby with a bit of space. She's got Lyons down the line, and that's an errant pass. And a final whistle there from referee David Avison leaves us with Perth 1, Fremantle 3, out of the blocks with a bang. The visitors, an Annabelle Leake goal after a bit of Jamie Lee Gale build-up play. Had the host stunned. Abby Meekins pulled one back not long after. It was 1-1 after 10 minutes. And then Jenna Onions caught on the ball by Jamie Lee Gale, who this time the provider turned scorer to give Fremantle the lead. And then Gemma Crane getting more and more involved in this game as it goes on. Also picked the pocket of Perth at the back and smashed one past Rebecca Bennett, leaving us with that aforementioned scoreline. The host Perth 1, the visitors Fremantle 3. We'll be back with the second half shortly. And welcome back, Perth football fans, wherever you're watching, as Fremantle City players make their way out to their positions. Perth already waiting for the second half of this semi-final in the NPLW WA 2020 season. Perth SC 1, Fremantle City 3 is the score at halftime. And we do have a change to report for Perth. Jessica Byrne will replace Jenna Onions, who struggled a little, was at fault for a couple of the goals in that first half. Not her best day. And she has made way at half-time. The winner here will take on either Murdoch University Melville or the Northern Redbacks. That semi-final is tied at 0. A good tight game by all reports at the moment, as Gemma Crane looks to put herself about early on, but Betty comes away with the ball for Perth. Byrne slotting into that centre-half position. Out for Henderson, who tries to play it down the line for Duncanson, who just wasn't there. Fremantle can take over. Lovely little drop of the shoulder there from Steffi Nadillo. He looks to feed Annabelle Leake, but pass was wayward. Perth a chance. Let's see what they can conjure up. Good defensive work there on Grace Betty. But Perth still with the ball. In the hands of Harvey. She looks down the line for Cook. Lovely little flick around the corner here for Betty. She twists and turns around Marchetti. And looks to get it back, but Marchetti does well. But then gives it away to Shepherd. And just doing enough there was Waltman. Back to her keeper. Betty confronted by Crane. Perth to go back and start again. Harvey tries to put one into the mixer there. Henderson opposed to Gale. Leaves it for Duncanson, who goes back to Henderson. She won't get there. And Rigby does well to win that ball down the line, and Fremantle are away again. Chance inside if I could have found Coral Buxey. She was in a bit of space, as was Lyons, but the pass was cut out. Back out for another Fremantle throw. Down the line looking for Gale, headed away. Coming there to contest is Cook. And Nadilo just dropping it back to Schroeder. He thumps it down the middle, and Perth take over again. Started reasonably well here, the hosts, and DeLeo just floats that one out of play. Marchetti to jog over and take. He's got Ireland coming down the line. Doesn't get anywhere near her as Betty towers over. This time she'll look for Crane, who looks to flick it around Betty. Can't do so. Betty rolls it in for Duncanson, who takes a touch out into the path of Cook, but too far ahead on that path. Schroeder will be the recipient of the ball for a goal kick. Not quite the high intensity so far that we had at moments in that first half, and that will suit Fremantle City down to a T. Every quiet 5 minutes that goes past is one step closer to a cup final. Marchetti just a lapse in concentration, let that one roll under her studs. Quick throw in from Harvey for Meekins to flick around the corner to Cook, but it gets past her. And Schroeder again with the ball at her feet. Cook now forced to press as those precious seconds tick off the clock. 2-goal lead seems like a big lead in football, but can be so quickly halved. Every few minutes that go by, the longer this lead stays at 2, the more the odds tilt in favour of the women in the black kits. Gale knocks it straight back. And then thump down the line and out. Just a conservative game plan so far. Conservative setup in this second half for Fremantle. Not taking too many unnecessary risks. So that ball over for Shepherd. She looked to flick it on. Her first header, I think she sort of lost track of the ball, and Marchetti throws herself in. And the ball has gone out. The decision is a Fremantle goal kick. The Perth bench apoplectic there that was not a corner. The question would be how the Fremantle defender managed to get the ball out without touching it. Here's Lyons with a chance to run. She is upended by a strong tackle there in midfield by Shepherd. She's had a couple of them today, and here's a chance for another one. Snapping at the heels there of Laura Waltman. And Waltman does well to turn away. Can't get past Betty, though. Betty gets a ball almost into the box. May have gone via the box before it went behind Dale Schroeder's goal. I just don't want to invite too much pressure on Fremantle. Don't want to go into their shells too much. Still looking to play it out from the back. There's a bit of confidence there from Steffi Nadilo just to drop the shoulder and sidestep the on-rushing Perth attack. Meekins can't get that one under control. Flicked around the corner. Chance for Crane to get involved here. Cleared by Harvey. Certainly, Fremantle have already showed how quickly they can go from defence to attack, and also how quick they are to capitalise on any mistakes at the back from Perth. Second and third goals both coming from perhaps a bit of overplaying or mistakes at the back by the Azzurri. But Gale and Crane capitalised expertly. Throw in for Fremantle. Another goal here would, you would think, put a foot in the door to be back at the cup final on the weekend. Offside there. And Gale, I believe. Henderson to take the free kick. Cook asking for it down the line. She'll have Nadilo to compete with in the air. Cook does really well to cushion that one down. And a chance here for Perth if the ball stays in, which it won't. Just looking for the run of Betty there. It was Testaleo, who looks to have moved into a midfield role here in this second half. Spadano wins the header. Not Shepherd it was, rather. And DeLeo in her usual midfield position. Waltman twisting and turning. Wonderful play there. Lyons. Here's Betty. Spadano. Cut out by Waltman. Lyons fizzes it into the feet of Gale there. She's got a chance to run and run at Byrne, which she does. But her pass is overhit. Bennett comes out to claim. They'll want to go quick here. Duncanson's in a lot of space. Nadilo over to contest. Cook, if she was onside, is a chance, but Waltman covers well. Very good defending from Fremantle. It's going to make it hard to find the back of the net if their positioning and covering for each other is as good as it was on that occasion. And just like that, we've almost 10 minutes gone in this second half. And is absolutely the kind of start Fremantle would have wanted. Waltman with a bit of space and time. Georgie Island looks to thread it into the path of Rigby, but it's not quite on the money. Rigby back. Oh, Nadilo with a bit of confidence, but perhaps overly confident. Gave the ball away, but managed to get it forward before it was too dangerous. DeLeo back for Bennett. Finds Henderson. Spadano couldn't get a foot in there. Eventually had a little tug, and Crane's got a bit of space to pick out a pass. She fires it across the 6-yard box. Not quite handled by Bennett, but cleared by her defence. Henderson couldn't bring that one in, so Nadilo turns it around for Buxey. But Perth win it back. Just not quite finding those passes to create a chance in the final third. Lions turns it around the corner for Marchetti. Her ball to the feet of Duncanson. That's a wonderful pass for Betty, whose first touch let her down, but the second was, it was good enough if she knew where the ball was. I don't think she did. Waltman carrying it away confidently. Still Waltman. Eventually gives it away, but it ricochets back to Lions. Back for Ireland, and Ireland will go all the way back to Nadilo, who looks to find Crane, who was just offside. It looked close, but from where I was sitting, definitely looked like she was coming back from an offside position. Chance for Meekins to have a hit again. A little further out than her first effort, and drastically different result. Well wide. Just feel a Perth goal really gets their tails up. A Fremantle goal just about kills this. Here's Betty. Looking to halve the deficit. Gale pressuring and came back to Waltman, who clears. Perth throw, attacking position. Just started to string a few passes together, the hosts. Spadano. Harvey. Fizzes it across the 6-yard box into the arms of Dale Schroeder. Nadilo. Crane in a pocket of space. Rigby. Back for Nadilo. She's got Buxey calling for it in the middle, but goes down the line for Rigby. Henderson was winning that race all day, but left it for a keeper. Plays it back for Henderson. Rigby's got to keep working. And Crane now gets it and turns, holds off Meekins and just ghosts by a couple. Ball into the box. Wonderful ball for Gale. And in 4-1. Final touch off the defender. It may have gone in anyway. But regardless of who the goal is credited for, that is just about Fremantle City with 1 foot in the final. Just a despairing lunge at the back post from Nadia Harvey. Unable to prevent Fremantle's 4th goal. A substitution for the visitors here as Matilda Boyle comes on. Coral Buxey makes way. And the visiting fans certainly the happier here today as quarter of an hour gone in this second half. Half an hour left. Perth will need 3 goals at least if they want to continue on their season. It's been a tremendous performance from Fremantle City today. Here's Harvey. Certainly wouldn't say it was her fault. Did her best to get a body in the way of that shot. Unable to keep it out. Duncanson goes sliding in. Cook will want to make her mark there, but Fremantle come away with it again. Lions under pressure, comes away with it. DeLeo cuts that one out. Spadano for Shepherd. Betty just fluffs her lines on that one. And Fremantle win the throw again. They have all the goals, all the intensity at the moment. Spadano clears down the line and out for another Fremantle throw. And they will continue to eat up the seconds. 2-goal lead at halftime is now a 3-goal lead. And Crane has space, and she has Rigby also in space. Duncanson over to pressure. She feeds it down the line for Gale. Just can't keep that one in. Long ball out the back from Perth. Cook looks to turn and race with Waltman, but Waltman just had the skip on her. Played it back for Schroeder. The ball is high and at the feet of Duncanson now. Thumps it off the substitute Boyle. And Perth just not able to string together any meaningful passes in that final third. The build-up play has been okay, but just lacking that cutting edge tonight. DeLeo, opposed to Lyons, comes away with it. Spadano fizzes it into the feet of an onside. A burn, but I can't make anything of it. Cook will pressure Schroeder, who has to pick it up now. Long ball cut out by Harvey. She'll keep running down the line. Shepherd will look to find her now, and she does. Headed around the corner, looking for Cook, who makes a bit of a nuisance of herself. Ireland with the cool head, back to Schroeder. Lovely pass out from the back there from the goalkeeper. Brought under by Gale. Back to Rigby, and long and out. Bit of defending by Fremantle. They've defended so well as a unit all night tonight. Spadano looking to win that one off Crane, but she's just too strong, too composed. Eventually fizzed it out to Ireland, who couldn't bring it under control. Cook battling with Waltman, but Waltman sticks to her task. She's been excellent tonight, as has Nadilo. Shepherd. Chance for Betty. Nice deflection, just took the pace off it for her. She squares it back into the box, and a real chance. It's right where you want it. Fizzed back onto the penalty spot. Just arriving late. It was Jess Byrne, just could not keep the shot down. Schroeder will take her time. And then This one long up the middle. On the turn, Lyons does delightfully well. Crane is onside, and she's a chance here. She has got Leak arriving. She may go herself. She does go herself, and Fremantle are in the final. It has been a 5-star performance from Fremantle City tonight, and they now lead Perth SC by a score of 5-1. Gemma Crane is just pulling all the strings. A bit of a haphazard defensive line there from Perth, and as soon as Crane went in, you felt like she was either going to find Leak for a tap-in or she was going to roll it in herself. Very rarely makes the wrong decision, Gemma Crane, and on that occasion, the right decision was to throw her right foot at it and curl it around Rebecca Bennett into that far right corner along the turf. Wonderful goal, and here she goes again. She's on a hat-trick now, and she has got a head of steam up. She goes past Harvey. Harvey does well to catch up and get a foot in. Well, the 2-goal lead at halftime has been doubled. It's a 4-goal lead now, and with 24 minutes plus stoppage time to play, can't see a Perth comeback now. On a normal day, perhaps, but they just don't quite seem to have the edge that they usually do. Marchetti throws it down the line. She'll look to get it back. Fizz it into the feet of Lyons, who dances around a couple. One of them being DeLeo, squares it back for Gale, who couldn't get a foot on it. Rigby's interested now, looks to get a ball in. Oh, wonderful cross there from Rigby just to dig that one out. Comes to the back post, and diving block from Shepherd was good. Gets back up now to confront Ireland, and Perth do come away with it. And just no one forward. No options there at all. Cook wanted it short. The ball was for the run in behind, and that's the story of the night for Perth. Looks like we have a bit of action on the bench for Perth. Tony Walden getting some last-minute instructions before you'd assume she makes her way onto the pitch. The substitution will be made now. Liana Cook, she's toiled and worked hard tonight, but nothing's quite come off for her. There is the substitution. Walton on, Cook off. Just making sure she moves that lengthy ponytail to give the linesman a look at the number on her back. It is number 5. And that is the score next to Fremantle City up there on the scoreboard. 5-1. What a performance, and what a match to save it for. There will be one more for them. There will be no more for Perth. As Henderson looks down the line for the substitute. Walden's first involvement. And gets a bit of help from Duncanson, and Perth look to go forward, but cut out. Good defending again by the heavily bandaged Natasha Rigby. Long down the line, and Fremantle still not done with 5. They're going forward looking for a 6. The diving tackle saving the day from Henderson, and perhaps the danger of a penalty there, diving in on Jamie Lee Gale like that, but time to perfection. No rush now for Fremantle City. As Gale will take the corner, looking for their 6th. Corner taken now. Low, near post, flicked on. Cleared by Perth, but not completely. Betty. Can Perth spring a counter? Looking to play it into the path of Spadano. Waltman's touch is delightful. Her imperious performance continues. Not her best pass, but I don't think she'll mind that too much right now. 20 minutes to play in this semi-final. Had no word from the dubious goals panel as to whether or not that Annabelle Leake second goal is a goal or an own goal for Nadia Harvey. I'm sure Harvey would be happy to give it to Leake. If that is the case, it's 2 for Leake, 1 for Gale, 2 for Crane. That one, a chance for Walden to have her first meaningful impact on the game. She's tackled heavily, wins her side a corner. A chance for a glimmer of hope for Perth if they can find the back of the net here. You'd think that would be all it would be, but Duncanson's ball is into a good area. Walden can't get ahead on it. Comes back out and cleared. Byrne just a little step over at the back. Questionable decision making, but gets away with it. DeLeo. Looking for Duncanson. Goes through her. Walden will get there. Betty's at the back post. It won't get that far. It's over Duncanson and not far enough for Betty. Crashing in there is Shepherd. Meekins is robbed of it by Matilda Boyle. Here's Leake. Down the line for Crane. The 2 brace scorers tonight will go ahead and give her that goal. Crane is attempting to dribble past Spadano and Harvey. Spadano went sliding in, but Harvey stayed on her feet and made the tackle. Leake back for Waltman. For Betty. Walden's got a bit of space here if she can find her. It's just not enough to get it over the head of Nadilo. And still Perth press, but geez, Fremantle have just defended so well today. You have to give all credit to the visitors for the way they've performed. And Perth haven't been particularly poor. They, as I've mentioned, may not have been the sharpest in the final third, but every mistake they have made, Fremantle have made them pay. As Perth looks to swing it out down their preferred left side. Henderson making a run. That one will not get there. Cut out again, and Rigby can go the other way. Perth throw. Coming unstuck in midfield there, Perth. Fremantle take over again. Harvey for Duncanson. For Betty. Betty's ball is delightful for Henderson. Her touch is good too for Walden. Walden hits it on the turn, but her shot's blocked. Crane can pounce here. Duncanson looks to take her on, but a lovely flick with the outside of the foot, and Crane is away. Teammates either side of her. Goes outside for Rigby, who has lines in a lot of space at the back post if she can get it that far. She goes short out and firing it into the back of the net to make it 6. Is Georgie Ireland. Perth City SC 1, Fremantle City 6. Fantastic performance. Just gets better and better for them. And they will make another substitution here. Keisler Wills coming on here for the imperious Laura Waltman. Listen to the crowd. They will tell you all you need to know about her performance tonight. She has been absolutely superb. Ashley Santich will also come onto the field. She will replace Michaela Lyons. And in fact, I do need to issue my apologies. The opening goal scorer, Jamie Lee Gale. We have confirmation. 14, not 19. I originally gave the credit to Leak. But it was Jamie Lee Gale who also scored a second. So Gale and Crane with a brace apiece. Starting to lose track of the scorers here. Georgie Island with the last one. But if my figures are correct now, Island has one, Leak has one, Gale and Crane 2 apiece, 6 for Fremantle City. What a fantastic performance. I feel like I've said it 7 or 8 times tonight, maybe more, but don't feel like you can say it enough at the moment as DeLeo looks to give Walden a task. Certainly too steep of a task in the end. Well, it's becoming clearer and clearer. There is just under quarter of an hour left in the Azuris season. Their men's side will play in the final against Floriat on the weekend, but Perth looking to perhaps salvage some pride, and again the defence of Fremantle just holds strong and Rigby can stride away. Wonderful ball down, a delightful flick back there for Crane. She has got Leak outside of her, finds her now. Leak looks to feed it back, perhaps for one of her late arriving midfielders. Harvey makes the block. Out for a Fremantle corner. Well, not quite a 7-goal thriller today. It probably needs to be a little bit closer in score to be referred to as such, but 7-goal match nonetheless. We've certainly got value for money. The rain stayed away tonight, bucketing down last night, but it is raining goals at Dorrien Gardens. Crane looking to show some tricks and a little nutmeg on her opponent. Comes out and through the legs there of Ashley Santich. We can't bring that under control. Nadilo dallies on it, and Walden was interested, but couldn't quite get there. Crane coming back from an offside position, but just got back in time before the pass was played. Here's Leak with just the 1 goal tonight. Leaves it for Crane, who has 2. And that runs over the line for a Perth goal kick. Shepherd cushions it down for Harvey, whose pass is cut out. Spadano looks to win it back and does. Here's Walden. It's been lively since she was introduced. For Henderson, who's got a bit of space to run now. Duncanson down the line. Walden inside. Goes for Walden, who then looked to thread it down the line for Duncanson, but it was a poor pass in truth. And Fremantle look to come the other way. Crane dropping into left back to pick this one up. And she will take all of her time and pick out a precise pass there for Gale, who looked to flick it around the corner. Got a bit too much on it. Bennett clears. Henderson to throw it in. Just coming back off the back of Nadilo. Didn't know too much about it. Fremantle coming away with it one more time. Oh, just threading it through for Leak. At least that was the intention from Evie Marchetti. Harvey looking for Betty, over her. And mopped up there by Keisler Wills. We'll come back to her now. Still with Keisler Wills. Marchetti. Nadilo. And well worked out again by the Fremantle defence for Leak. Blue shirts everywhere, but they managed to find a way out as they've done so often tonight, and Crane can run. Shepherd will try to catch her, but Crane will shrug her off, get a ball across the box, and Bennett does well to hold on, and Crane is down, and that would not be a nice way to end the game with a Gemma Crane injury. Well, that would be terrible news, absolutely terrible news if she can't get up and continue. Gee, she looks like she's struggling to. Play goes on, but Gemma Crane is still down and looks to have done some real damage. And that is a shame. Still hasn't got up, and now the word will get down to the Fremantle defence to kick the ball out so that the physio can get out to check on the Fremantle City Star. And what a dampener this would put on what was a fantastic all-round performance from this side. That physio make their way over. Evie Marchetti goes over to check on her teammate. It would be just such a shame if she cannot take her place in the final. Break in play gives us a chance to cast our eye over to the Murdoch University Melville game against the Northern Redbacks. At the moment, that game tied at 1. 13 minutes left there. So either side, still a chance to go through. And Crane still hasn't been able to get back up. She did get to her feet early after the incident and was really hobbling. She's back on, well, not back on her feet, back on her foot now. Just hobbling on that left leg. That right knee looks to be causing her a lot of trouble. Certainly some part of her right leg. Certainly will not be able to continue. Kaylin Gilhode will take her place. Not the way she would want to be coming onto the pitch, I'm sure. Well, we cross our fingers and we hope that Gemma will be able to recover in time for the weekend, but early signs are really not promising. Back to the action. Tony Walden flicking that one on, probably hoping that Duncanson would be making that run in behind. But nothing that they've tried tonight really has come off, aside from it. Very nice strike from Abby Meekins. in the opening 10 minutes. That remains Perth's only goal of the game. Fremantle have gone on to notch 6. And Ireland looks to turn and go. The latest in a long line of goal scorers. That one's threaded through, and a chance for Gilherd, the substitute. On for Crane. Cannot make it around the sprawling Rebecca Bennett, who makes not one but 2 blocks. Santich looking to get involved, but just can't quite make it stick. Perth win the throw. Gemma Crane still hasn't moved far from where she was when she crawled off the field 5 minutes ago. Charlotte Hislop awaiting her introduction. She will replace Jamie Duncanson. He's had a frustrating evening by her standards. Not really afternoon, is it, when it's almost 10 o'clock? Harvey, throw down the line. Betty can't make it stick. That ball didn't look like it went out there, and before Gillard put her hand on it to leave it. Keisler Wills throws it inside there, and Crowder players Santich tried to dribble through. Playing a bit of chaos ball in there, and Perth eventually settle it down. Spadano on the turn. Betty trying to flick it around and just shoving. Harvey there was the substitute, Kaylin Gilherd. Certainly a hefty shove while she was in the air and a nasty landing. Quite surprised there's no booking there. Perhaps another injury. I won't have to worry about getting her ready for the weekend, but I don't want to see any players going off with injuries, of course. An awkward landing. It could just be another one where she's had the stuffing knocked out of her, but they may make a substitution anyway. Just to let her sit down. It will be the end of her night, and one of the fan favourites here by the sounds of things, warming up, Castillo Burgess. One of the youngsters will get her chance to show what she can do in the final stages. Couple of minutes and stoppage time left. Still 1-1 at Murdoch Redbacks. Could be either side waiting for the winner here. Well, either side waiting for Fremantle. They will have to wait to see who their opponents will be in the final. And I'm not sure what's going on over here. Referee coming over to have a chat with his linesman. Surely at 6-1 this is a bit academic. As we await that substitution, it will be made now. Lila Castillo Burgess, one of the Perth under-23s, will get a couple of minutes with the first side in the semi-final. Probably not the way she'd ideally want to be introduced. As Henderson's first corner comes to nothing, and she'll try again. Henderson's ball is into a tasty area. Walden arriving late, didn't quite get ahead on it. Gale will come away. Perhaps time for Fremantle to inflict even more pain on Perth here. As Natasha Rigby, who has not stopped running all day, presses all the way up from right back to push Bennett, and then runs all the way back. It's so much easier to run when you're winning by 5 goals than when you're losing by 5 goals. I'll tell you, I've personally been more on the receiving end in my career, if you can call it a career. Anyway, Boyle's ball is delightful. Gives Leake a chance. She takes her time and they get it back out for Keisler Wills. Thundering in there is Meekins. Takes a bit of a knock for her troubles and doesn't look like she's moving freely, and a chance for another for Georgie Island, looking for a brace herself to join Gale and Crane, but that one just wide. We are into the second minute of additional time. Like the first half, there was a lengthy stoppage. In the first half, it was for that three-way head clash. In the second, for the just devastating injury to Gemma Crane on the verge of Fremantle City's Cup final. And they will be absolutely shattered by that as a team. But there's still silverware to play for. That one gives Gale a chance. She's on a hat-trick, and she is denied by the legs of Rebecca Bennett. Still a chance for Fremantle to make it 7. Spadano robs it. Back for Boyle. Boyle can't get past Spadano, but wins Fremantle a throw. Just seconds left now. Boyle. Spadano. Boyle wins it back for Rigby. Oh, tasty chop there from Georgie Island. Burns ball down the line. Looking for Hislop, but she can't get there. Back to Byrne. Gilhode fires inside, and here's another chance for Jamie Lee Gale. Fine defensive work from Emily Henderson. It's been a tough night for all of the Perth defenders, but Henderson certainly has acquitted herself well. She's had a fine season. The Perth left back, but a very disappointing end. Ireland just edged their opponent past it, and Boyle tried to roll it wide, copped a knock for her troubles. There's Hislop trying to get herself involved, and there is the final whistle. The pain is over for Perth SC. They have been thoroughly outclassed, smashed for 6 by an effervescent, hard-working, clinical and quality Fremantle side. They will be tough to beat with or without Gemma Crane. It looks like her injury late in the game will most likely see her miss out on the final. Devastating end to what was a scintillating performance. I will do my best to recap all the action for you. We got started early with a goal that I initially credited to Annabelle Leake. I thought it was 19. It was 14. Jamie Lee Gale. That's the old eyesight going in the mid-30s. Then it was number 8 for Perth, Abby Meekins, smashing one in from range, as she's done a couple of times this season, before
the Freo show began. I'll be totally honest with you, I've forgotten what order the goals came in, but Gale grabbed a couple, Ireland grabbed one, Leake did get one, and Crane got a couple for herself. The final score here, Perth SC 1, Fremantle City 6.